Thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasairos. I talk about politics, sports, and entertainment to keep you well-rounded, what's going on around the world. If you don't like hearing the truth, definitely don't tune into this channel. So let's get started today. So the left, they just keep celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. And what I want Charlie Kirk's followers and people that love him and Republicans and conservatives to do is take that pain, take that disbelief, take your rage, take your anger, and turn it into a non-violent, calculated, organized plan to turn every single thing red in this country. And what I mean by that is we need to organize everyone with conservative and Republican values. We need to organize and structure voting drives where we turn everything red. Whether it's your mayor, your local town council, your governor, your senator, your vice president, your president, we need to honor Charlie Kirk by turning everything in this country red. And that's the bottom line. And that's the only way that you can look at this. Nobody despises these lefties more than me. I don't want Tyler Robinson to face the death penalty. Let me tell you why. When he's convicted, I want President Trump to send this little coward, little demon, piece of garbage to a federal institution in America, the worst one in the federal system, where all the sexual deviants go, the people that have committed sexual crimes against children and everybody else, a main line where he has to walk the yard. And I hope this little piece of garbage gets cornholed every single day the rest of his life. And I absolutely mean every word of what I just said. You're gonna say, that doesn't sound very God. I never proclaimed to be Jesus Christ, even though I believe in God and Jesus Christ. I want nothing but suffering for this little piece of garbage for the rest of his life and his family. See, there seems to be all these excuses for this kid and his family, like, oh, he came from a good family. His dad was a police officer and his mom. What does your job have to do with being a good person? Because some of the people in the United States of America who have the greatest jobs ever are some of the worst human beings on the planet. So why do they keep having this excuse that, oh, Tyler Robinson's dad turned him in, so he's a good man? No, Tyler Robinson's dad turned him in because if he didn't, he would have got charged with aiding and abetting a murder, and he would have been in deep shit too. And what did that coward do? He handed over his son. I'm not going to jail for you, pal. You got to go. You call that being brave? You can call it what you want. I want nothing but suffering for this little scumbag. That I really do. From the bottom of my heart to all the lefties out there celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, being the trash that you are. And I've seen this too. Republicans and conservatives, they're getting pictures of the people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, and they're calling their jobs and they're calling their employment. They're making them famous, and I love it. That's exactly what you have to keep doing. Exactly what they do to us when it comes to that, getting us canceled. The same way, you have to do it to them. Make them all famous. If they own a business, go to Yelp. If they get a new job, get them fired. The same exact way. Make their lives absolutely miserable. And Tyler Robinson's coming out. He told his dad he'd rather kill himself than turn himself in. What else would you expect from a coward? What else would you expect from a lefty? And you see all the leftists on TV. Nate Burleson, the ex-NFL player, he's blaming Republicans and he's blaming conservatives for the assassination, just like the rest of the Democratic Party. Would you ever expect a Democrat to take responsibility for anything? Ever? So basically, what all these lefties are saying is this: tone down your rhetoric or we're going to kill you. tone down your rhetoric. You're speaking words that we don't like. And since you're doing that, we have the right to kill you. That's what lefties are saying. That's what they're telling you. Pipe down or we'll kill you. Wow. You know, I want to just crush Democrats into the ground. I don't ever want to see another Democrat leader in anything. The school board, your county commissioner, governor, senator, vice president, president. And that's exactly what Republicans need to do. We need to start organizing and strategizing right now for all voting, for voting in everything, to turn everything red in this country. Because that's exactly what Charlie Kirk would want us all to do. He wouldn't want you to be violent. That's a no-no. He would want you to come out in droves and vote red. So we get rid of every Democratic leader in this entire country to send them a message that their behavior will not be tolerated. Let's look at this disgusting demon of a human being. Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson's roommate, has been identified as 22-year-old Lance Twiggs. Ammon reports Robinson was living with his transgender partner. Go figure. Their families refused to deny transgenderism was a motivating factor in the killing. Oh, yeah, right? Because it's normal that your son thinks he's a girl and wants to chop off his balls and penis. Yeah, that's not a mental disorder. Hold on a minute. Let me get this straight. So the government, if you want no illegals in the country, if you want a closed border, if you want American sovereignty, if you want America not to be involved in foreign affairs, if you want the national language here to be English, if you want the American flag, the only flag to be waved, you're a right-wing extremist. You need to be locked away. You need a mental institution. Those things make you a right-wing extremist. Well, if that makes you a right-wing extremist, let's not forget Christmas now. Can't say Jesus, can't say Merry Christmas. So all those things if that makes you a right-winger, then I'm like extreme right. Then I'm like, there's no further right than you can go if that's what makes you a right-wing extremist. Our borders should be closed. We shouldn't be involved in foreign affairs. Our national language is English. The American flag is the only flag that should be waved in this country. That makes you a psychopath? But being a transgender, a man that thinks he's a woman who wants to cut off his penis, that's not a mental, there's nothing wrong with that? Wow, we really got it backwards in America in 2025, huh? Let's look at this piece of car. Oh, wow. What a strong son. Every father wants their son to turn out like this with a little bear hoodie. See, when you see these little psychos, I never underestimate anybody. Ever. And when I see these little psychos where I live dressed like this, I got my eye on you. I really do. Because they're weak men, so-called men. Weak men are dangerous. Weak men think their fragile feelings run the day. He's weak. He can't be a man. It's hard to be a man. So I'll just cut it off and be a woman. It's the weakest thing you could do. And what do Democrats do? What do liberals do? They celebrate this. Oh, that's such strength. You're so brave. You found love in another man's butt. You cut it off. You're so brave. Really, that's brave? So taking care of your kids, working 2 jobs, being married to the same woman for 40 years, there's nothing brave about that according to Democrats, right? No, they hate, you know why? Because they hate everything that's good. They hate tradition. You can't be in the middle right anymore with me. You can't. You can't tell me, well, I'm for all those things, but I'm a Democrat. No. Well, that's not what your party stands for. Your party stands for, I only look at the Democratic one way. If it was up to them, they would take every child on the planet and mutilate them so they could have voters for the rest of their lives. And that's what they do. AOC, Jasmine Crockett, that's why they're all pushing this, because they need groups from every group to have voters. So they would literally mutilate children to have voters. And that's why I don't need to have dialogue with you anymore. I'm done. My tolerance level is at 0. And you see all these lefties online celebrating. You see TMZ. Listen to me, conservatives. Listen to me. It's time to shut all these businesses down. All of them. When these lefties celebrate Charlie's death, you need to make them famous, put their pictures everywhere, make them unemployable anywhere. Make them unemployable. Show their violence. Show them celebrating another human being's death. I don't think anybody should ever die because they have a different opinion than me, ever. I might not like you, but I don't think you should ever lose your life. And you have people celebrating. The man was sitting there in front of his children. His children were afraid because they heard a loud sound. His children ran to him as blood is coming out of his neck. And you have people in this country celebrating that because you didn't like his opinion. I've never seen Charlie Kirk be rude to anybody. I've never seen him talk down to a black person, a Jewish person, a trans. I've never seen him be rude ever to anybody. He wanted to hear your opinion, and he wanted you to hear him. That's what normal people do. And Democrats wanted him dead because he was open to dialogue. They wanted the man to die because he was open to dialogue. And then you got that murdering piece of shit Chris Cuomo on TV. That's what him and his brother are. Thousands of people died during COVID under their watch, and they don't give a shit about those people. They died lonely, terrible deaths. But yet, Chris Cuomo and his brother, they're on TV preaching to everybody. Chris Cuomo, a day later, gets up and says, Elon Musk should be next. Elon Musk should be next. He wore out his welcome. We've seen enough of him. And yet he's still on TV. And yet he still has a job. And yet he hasn't been arrested. And you know why? Because that's the plan they have for all of us who will not vote for Democrats. They feel that we should not be living on earth anymore. Don't forget that's what you're dealing with. When you think about death, right, and you think about what happened with Charlie, it was fast. It was boom. I'm not trying to lessen it because it was disgusting, but it was fast. But you know what would be a worse way to go than that? You see all these lefties here that are celebrating that? Could you imagine them being alive for a very long time and not being able to work, not being able to feed themselves? Their life's a total disaster because we made them all famous for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. That's the route I want to go. Make them all famous. Make them all unemployable. Every last one of them. Turn their lives into a living hell without violence by voting and making them unemployable anywhere. They are the violent ones. They are the extremists. They are the terrorists. They are the godless. They are evil. All of them. Anybody that celebrates another person's demise because they had a different opinion than them tells you who and what that individual really is. All those women on TMZ cheering when they heard about Charlie Kirk being assassinated. Filth. And of course, I don't care what he comes out and makes it. Oh, we were laughing because there was a car chase. F you. It's time to shut all of these liberal news stations down. All of them. Every single. It should be your mission in life that when you see them on a show or you have to give a rating or you have to do anything that hurts their business, their show, anything, without committing violence, without threatening people, a good old review of your business sucks. I don't support a murderer. I will not support your show. I will not support anarchy. I will not support child mutilation. Turn everything red and make their lives a living hell. Look at this roach. Yeah. Weak man. Oh, look at him. In his little bunny costume. High estrogen right here. They're all sick. Every one of them is a sick pile of garbage. And all you, Jasmine Crockett and AOC and the whole Democratic Party blaming all certain athletes, Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, not saying a word, not condemning this. He did after everybody made videos pointing it out. Hey, Stephen A. Smith didn't, ESPN, who involves themselves in every political matter. Charlie Kirk gets assassinated and they're totally silent. You know why? Because they agree with it. Because he's a white conservative. So they got nothing to say. But hey, St. George Floyd, he's a great guy. And that I keep seeing this online. I'm glad I brought that up. I keep seeing this online. You have all these sickos, and it's mostly racial. They're trying to compare Charlie Kirk to George Floyd. So George Floyd, a man who robbed a pregnant woman, put a gun to her belly with the child inside, sexually assaulted people, armed robberies, you name it, he's done it. I guarantee he's killed people that we don't know. And you're comparing him to Charlie Kirk, a guy that wanted to sit down and have a conversation with you, who invited you to have a conversation, who wanted to sit down with a black person and get their point of view, who wanted to sit down with an Asian person, who wanted to sit down with a gay person, who wanted to sit down with a transgender person and have a conversation. And you're comparing the two. It just shows what a racist piece of garbage you are. It just shows what a low IQ it just shows how hateful you are. That's what it shows. What a disconnected low IQ brain you must have to try to compare the two situations. And you're so proud of you're so proud of being trash, like the trash parents that raised you. And this kid, I wish him nothing but suffering. Him, his entire family. I don't want to hear that he had a good dad, he had a good mom because they had good jobs. What the F does that mean? So if the mom worked at ShopRite and the dad was a janitor, that means they were automatically bad because his dad was a sheriff's officer? You don't know what was going on at that kitchen table. You don't know if liberal insanity policies were agreed with at that table. You don't know if his parents were actually the ones that radicalized. Why are you automatically giving the parents a pass? People, oh, that's not fair. Was it fair what happened to Charlie Kirk in front of his children? Life's not fair. And I hope he suffers. I hope this pile of garbage suffers the rest of his life. I really hope President Trump doesn't give him the death penalty. I want this piece of garbage to go to the worst federal institution in America, where all the sexual deviants go who sexually assaulted people and did the worst things to human beings that you could think of. And I want him to live there the rest of his life. That's what I want for him. Don't care. Don't care. I want you to feel. He's already saying he doesn't want to live anymore. You're all cowards. Every one of you is a coward. If you were a real man, you would have went out to Charlie Kirk and be like, I want to box you. Let's put on some boxing gloves and let's beat the crap out of you. I can respect that. I really could. I tell the people that threaten me all the time, hey, let's be men. Let's be men. Let's lock each other in a cage and let's do what we got to do. Let's be men. We can have the cops watching everything. I won't press charges on you. Let's be men. But you'll never do that. You might try to run up on me when there's 20 of you and, you're 200 yards away from me with a rifle because that's the cowards you lefties all are. Cowards like your daddies that raised you. You don't want somebody to give you something that your daddy obviously never gave you. But that's what the left is at this point. And if you're a blue-collar guy with kids and you're still voting Democrat and you're white and you've seen all you need to see and you've heard the things that these people have said, See, they love white people that are transgenders. They love white people that cut their things off. They love, white Antifa scum. But if you're white and godly and conservative, according to lefties, you should die. So I don't want to hear any so-called real men tell me I'm a real man. I vote Democrat. No, you're not, because it's impossible at this point. Impossible. You are a pussy that's afraid of his wife, probably. Don't like the language. I don't really like to curse, but I'm just, let me tell you something, lefties. If you were trying to hurt us, you did a good job. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But don't worry. My shit list, it goes on for eternity. See, what these pieces of garbage don't realize is none of them really like to work, and none of them really like to do anything. So they want to live, Antifa scum, the same thing. They want to smoke weed all day, Section 8, if you made the protest at 6 a.m. and said you had to wear work boots, they would never show up. But as long as the protests are at 1 p.m. and they could smoke a pound of weed before they got there, they're all good to go. But remember one thing, for the most part, who's creating things? Who's building jobs? Conservatives. Don't employ these people. Don't hold the door for them. Don't let them go in front of you in traffic. You see the bumper stickers on their car. Whatever it is to make their life more difficult without violence, without threats, that's what you do. Make them all famous. Say it again. Make them all famous for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death by sharing their pictures online with everybody in videos for the world to see. Make them unemployable. Republicans and conservatives' way of honoring Charlie Kirk and getting back at the trash that wants to hurt us so bad and our children and our country is to turn every single opportunity here, governor, mayor, town council, vice president, president, turn it red. Everything in the entire country, red. Every state, red. Everybody should be radicalized now to vote, not radicalized for violence like Democrats and lefties. Because of what they did to Charlie Kirk in front of his children, a godly man, you need to be radicalized to vote this trash out of the country and have them locked up where they belong. Because being a transgender is a mental illness. That's exactly what it is. Child services will knock on your door because you read your kid the Bible and you disciplined them because you didn't want them to end up in prison or be a derelict like this. But they got no problem with filth and scum and trash and terrorists like this. And I'm going to end it with that. Remember, no violence, no threats. If you want to hurt this trash, you turn everything red. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasiros.